Welcome back to News Geelong on this first Friday in October. Food for Me is Gluten-Free is an upbeat children's picture book about celiac disease that started an uplifting journey for author, educator and teacher Sally O'Leary that now includes a total of 6 wonderful books that are delightful stories written with simplicity and charm and illustrated in vibrant watercolours, as Eliza Houghton reports.
Can you tell us about how your career as an author sort of began and what inspired it?
Yeah, I've always wanted to write. I'd always had a dream and ambition to write children's literature. And 2 of my children were diagnosed with celiac disease, and it was something that we'd never really heard of. And after a bit of a battle, because my son was quite sick, I've decided to go to the library and get a book about it so that we could sit down and read, and he could tell his friends and my daughter could tell her friends about what they had. And I went to the library and there was nothing there at all. And so after a bit of a think, I thought, well, I'm going to write a book about it. And Food for Me is Gluten-Free was written, and it is actually about my own family and my own children. And it is the first ever children's fiction book on celiac disease, so it's been really well received.
Congratulations on that. Now, people can buy these books all over Geelong, obviously. How are they selling in Geelong?
Look, they're selling really well. The allergy books, this book was launched in 2007, so it's been around a while, and if anyone wants a copy of it and the bookstore doesn't have it, they can just ask, and we can organise for them to have it. I also actually have a website, www.sallysbooks.com. So if you go to the website, you can actually read all about the books and you can actually order through the website.
And so then after the first book was written, what was the process of getting these other ones up and running?
Well, the first book actually was supposed to be a one-off because, as I've just explained, it was a book about celiac disease. It was a legacy to my kids and to raise awareness of celiac disease, and I actually went on and became quite an advocate for celiac disease, and I actually speak on it now. Like I spoke at the state conference last year. And my husband actually asked me to write a second book for him, and I said, well, I'm only writing one book, you know, this isn't an ongoing thing. And he said, well, I'd like you to write me a book about Lorne, because we met in Lorne and that's where we started going out, and obviously eventually we got married. So I wrote Ludet Bay Treasure, which obviously is a children's picture book, but behind every book there's always meaning and reason. So everything that happens in this book are the things that David and I did together, and turned into just a really popular book in Lorne, just, you know, not only for children but a lot of adults were actually buying the book for themselves because they loved it and they felt that they connected with it.
Thank you, Eliza. It has taken years of preparation, planning and infrastructure to present the UCI Road Cycling World Championships in our great city of Geelong, the first time such championships have been held in the Southern Hemisphere. As Ian Nichols speaks with City of Greater Geelong councillor Barbara Abley.
Well, as they say, it's all happening in Geelong right now, and we hope that this is going to be one of the attractions. Certainly looks spectacular.
It looks absolutely tremendous, and I certainly hope that people do get out and support the UCI. Geelong people have a fascination for one code of football, and every other sport seems to go by the by. But the UCI is the greatest event that could ever happen to Geelong, so I do hope that people realise that they're not going to be locked in their houses or their neighbourhoods or their suburbs, but they can actually move freely, quite freely around the city, but get out and have a look at the extraordinary talent and the energy and the athleticism of these internationally renowned cyclists. It's worth it. It's absolutely, I just can't exhort people to get out there and get on your bike and support the cyclists.
Well said, and I'm sure on that note we wish you and Council all the best. We know it's going to be seen worldwide and put Geelong on the map.
That's exactly right, for the very right reasons. There won't be any draws here. We'll leave that to Collingwood and St Kilda. There will be a winner of the UCI, so get with it, come down and have a look. get out to the best vantage points, and Scenic Road in Highton would be a really good spot. Also, where the cyclists cross the river at Queen's Park would be a great vantage point, particularly just on that apex of land at the base of St Joseph's College. Will be a great spot to see them, because you can see people coming across the top of the Barrawal Hills basically, and then zooming down past the golf course and over the bridge, and then see them panting their way back up Queen's Road. So be there or be spare, that's what I'll say.
Thank you, Ian. With the UCI World Championships being held in Geelong, it has opened the doors to the important part of Australian and world cycling history that Geelong has been part of. A historic exhibition at Osborne House, North Geelong, is currently on display as part of this great week, as News Geelong spoke with local cycling historian Rod Charles.
We certainly do. It's a great opportunity, a great privilege. To think that we've got the UCI World Championships here, we've sent overseas people like Russell Mockridge, 2 gold medals at the Helsinki Games. We've sent overseas Barry Costa, John Hine, Peter McDermott, Don Wilson, Tracy Gaudry. All of these people have gone overseas to represent Geelong. Now the UCI World Championships have come to us. It's just a great privilege. The history of cycling in Geelong is very, very, very rich indeed. Those people who were part of the nursery that we offer went out in the world, but there was all those other people before. It's a great opportunity to put this display up. The last point that I'd probably make as I look around, I've got a lovely American bicycle that came out in 1897 and was used on the first of the what we'd now call mass rides. Cyclists like to ride. They sure like to watch inspirational riders, but they love to ride their bicycles. And this bike that I'm seeing over there in the corner of my eye is a bike that was used on a 100-mile ride that went up to Keilor and Wood End in November of 1897. It's a bit like the first of the Around the Bay in a Day, or the first a Great Victorian Bike Ride. So don't think Bicycle Victoria invented mass rides. They were invented back in those days. We can prove it here.
This is News Geelong on this Friday evening, as we go to a break and return with sport and weather after this.